Didn't he say he wanted? No, is that that's Poirier. I'm thinking of Poirier said he wanted 5 rounds.
He wants to be bloody by round 1. Poirier.
Oh my God, he'll be bloody. That'll be the funny part.
No, you can't count Poirier out though. I think he's definitely. I'm excited for McGregor Poirier. Fuck, we're gonna talk about this one anyway. We're talking about MMA. We're gonna get into that one now. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what it was, and it was before this countdown. It was just like a random YouTube video that someone made that was a trailer for the fight. So it was mostly just past fights and whatnot. And I really just get excited because it could end in the first round with McGregor, but also it could be such a fucking war. It could be a Nate Diaz type fight, and these two just go head to head all 5 rounds. Striking for the most part, maybe a little bit on the fence and whatnot. That always happens, but not necessarily too much on the ground unless someone, slips up.
I think that's what everybody's hoping for is that. I mean, not hoping for, but they're on their toes guessing what's going to happen. Is it going to be a one-sided thing or is it going to be an all-out brawl?
And maybe that's good to market it that way, so then you actually have people on their toes and you don't really know which one. And especially for people that are used to watching McGregor, they've happened to it so many times where they pay $60 for a pay-per-view just to watch McGregor fight, and they only get to see him for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's boring.
Not necessarily. It's exciting. It's exciting for that first 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he gets paid.
But then you notice, that's it.
He gets paid the most.
For doing the least.
For doing the least.
Or not doing the least, but you can't even say that because he's definitely not doing the least. He's definitely putting in the most time when it comes to figuring out ways for him to get to the next level in his striking game or his grappling game. And it definitely shows when he's the first person in UFC history to get 2 title belts in 2 different weight classes. Mm-hmm. Some next level shit. And I still think people don't really see that. I forget that. I forget how good he is. And I feel that a lot of other people do. Yep. And I hope they don't. Just because I do.
Dude, you ever see it? Like, he hangs his arms down to his
side. I call that the king walk.
He hangs his arms down to his side and fights like that. And then all you see is
when he's in the ring.
Yeah, and then you see his arm just go.
Yep.
And he's just punching
out of nowhere.
Yeah. And the other guy's just like,
bottom.
What?
It's a good strategy. People aren't seeing it come from all the way down there. One of the commercials was just showing how McGregor set up the Poirier fight, I think it was.
The second one or the first one?
No, the first one. How he set Poirier up for the knockout. And he can literally be a knockout artist and just throwing a left kick here to make you go more to his right. Mm-hmm. And then he'll throw more of a body shot that make you go back towards the fence. Yep. And then you only have 2 ways to go. Throws another kick to make him go more to the right. He's going to the right, throws his right, knockout.
Wow, that is...
Setting up your shots for the next shot and just keep on setting up for the final. That's what McGregor does. He sets up.
Yeah, he doesn't just punch.
On another level. That's why I think when he says he's on another level, his setting up is like him playing chess. Mm-hmm. He is thinking 10 moves before the other opponent's even thinking about the first 3. Yeah. And by the time they start thinking about it, they're way too behind and they're getting caught.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait, what's happening?
Genius, baby. He's really is on another level if you look at his fights and how he trains for him. I remember seeing, I think it was for the Alvarez fight or the Aldo fight, and it was him literally in the... It was almost like the Masvidal training right before the Ben Askren fight. Yeah. Right in the locker room doing the flying knees right before the fight. Because that's what his first opening move was. McGregor was doing like the same thing with like a 5-shot combo over the course of like 20 seconds. And the last one being the knockout one. And it was literally played right on top of each other. And it was exactly how he knocked out Alvarez. In the first 30 seconds or however long it was.
So you used the same strategy.
Yeah, and you think about it, it's just so smart to open up that way. Yeah. Because sometimes people can open up in similar ways throughout their fighting career.
Yeah.
They'll feel someone out in a certain way, or they might just move a certain way in the beginning of a fight, every single fight, and someone notices that, and then they get caught in the first minute.
Yeah.
Too easy for them.
Mm-hmm. You just got to read how they come out. You got to watch their past fights.
I think it is also easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's all about timing and making sure you can get your opponent where you want him. And if McGregor can get his opponent where he wants them, it's a very scary place for his opponent.
Because then they're sitting there like they don't even know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I've got you. I've got you right in the sight line.
Another reason, where was I going to go at this point? Well, Dana White basically talked about Khabib last night. And basically, Khabib is looking at, he respected Charles Oliveira for beating Tony Ferguson, which, hats off to Charles Oliveira. He definitely had a great fight against Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson was prepared for him and still lost. But I don't think Khabib is going to go to him yet until Charles gets another fight under his belt against another respected guy.
Yep.
But if Poirier comes out with a win over McGregor, that might get Khabib's attention. Or if McGregor gets a first-round KO against Khabib. Or against Poirier. I don't think a 5-round war with Poirier is going to get Khabib's attention.
No.
Because they already went through a war, basically, Poirier and Khabib won it in round 4 or 3, I think. Mm-hmm. It was a grappling match, and Khabib had full control. So I don't think that's what he's looking for in this fight. I think he's looking for one of these guys to get knocked out. And if he does, then that's who he's going to fight next. If he does fight next, which I think he eventually will.
Yeah, I think he will too.
But I am hoping and praying that McGregor gets a first-round KO and it goes to Khabib and they fight. I wouldn't mind it being a first-round KO then. That's the only reason I wouldn't mind it being a first-round
But what about
knockout.
the Jake Paul fight?
That's not going to happen.
That's never happened.
No.
Dude. That really bothers me because like there's so much more for Conor McGregor to do than that. Like he's got a Khabib fight that needs to be done if he pulls this off with Poirier.
Another title belt he could fucking grab, but he said he's not even worried about titles and whatnot. That's like not in his.
I don't think he has
priority. He just wants to prove that he's
the
on
best.
Another level compared to these other people in these divisions. And I don't know if he wants to end his career at welterweight eventually and go up to 175 because he beat featherweight in 145. Basically starts the lightweight division when he was there. Got the 155 belt. Went up to 175 and beat Nate Diaz. Well, also lost to him once.
Yep.
Beat him the second time. That's another fight he's looking at. He definitely said he wants to fight. He said there will be another Nate fight.
Oh, okay, so
Diaz was also talking about coming down to 155.
Okay, so yeah, and they'll definitely.
McGregor said there's no one really at 155 other than him that he would want to see Diaz fight.
Yeah,
and I agree because when you have a regular welterweight at 175 fighting at 175. They're walking around at 180, 190. Mm-hmm. So them having to cut down all the way to 155, their power is going to be way more above par than the 155ers, just because the 155ers are walking around at 160, 170.
Yeah.
They don't have that mass there and that natural power already there, like McGregor kind of does. But honestly, I don't want to see Diaz come down to 155. I would want to see McGregor go up to 175, beat him again, and maybe fight someone else. I think Usman's very scary for McGregor.
What's Usman in?
He's 175. He's
175, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a scary fight.
Mm-hmm. And, we're your host, Kevin Steve.
So the other day.
Steven's a bitch!
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 a.m. at the Highlights Podcast on Instagram. And just like that, so the other day. Holy shit, dude.